I am seeing the accusation of virtue signaling going around a lot lately. No, they re not criticizing their skill at the rare Dreamcast Lighthouse escape game virtuous signal. They re actually judging them as people. In fact, one rational, level-headed individual directly called me out for it in a long rant where he gets my name wrong. Virtue signaling is the latest in a long line of hastily propagated, alt-right, near-reactionary buzzwords, including cuck, steez, antique, or every who thinks harassment is bad, literally who, if you re one of the prime targets, BTAS. Feminists, white knights, spanglers, a phrase on the up and up in the queue. White view, oh, 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 I I have a zoo, 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 view, 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 kazoo, view, 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 zoo, view, view, woo, view, view, bow, view, 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 carnivore, carnival. Kaiwu, Fayu, View, 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 Shu, Woo, Fayu, View, Zoo, View, 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 Zoo, Ho, So, View, 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 Zoo, Bow, I view, I oh, you, time, oh, 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 we oh. Oh, sorry. Does that phrase have really bad implications? Shit, we'd better come up with a new word that means the exact same bad idea. Wow. Oh, regressive leftists. There, that although. The term was originally coined by James Bartholomew for The Spectator to decree people who say I don't like this thing very much in order to feel good about themselves, and then just vote Labour every few years or whatever, and take no stake in actually making things better. This is a fairly straightforwardly good call to action. The term actually decried a real, existing problem. Of course, then the idiots got their hands on it. When interpreted poorly, almost every belief, statement, or piece of writing becomes virtue signaling, an attempt to look good for thinking the right thing. What's that? You like reading books. You read just trying to look like you do a lot of reading to look smart, you virtue signaler. What's this? You tweet pictures of Kamen Rider figurines in silly and compromising poses. You re just trying to signal that you own cool toys and have good photography ability. Get out of here. Oh, what's that? You criticize me when I say racist or sexist things, or have bizarre fixations with one particular woman. Clearly, you just want to make yourself look enlightened and like a vaguely good person so people will think you re nice, and, I don't know, sleep with you. This goes hand in hand with another popular term, the white knight. White knights are traditionally people who defend women on the internet out of the misguided belief it will result in some kind of reward, usually sex, which sounds difficult to do over the internet, but who knew apparently the best way to get it is to be nice to people. As someone who frequently impersonates a woman in online games, I can confirm that white knights do actually exist, and they are really weird. But we've reached a point where any male person defending any female person for any reason nets an accusation of just wanting them to pull their dipstick, because why else would anyone side with a woman? Right. It's not like you can just, think they're right about something. Women's rights activists and pickup artists love to decree criticism as virtue signaling, but not because they re against the idea that it's wrong to say and do things for sex. In fact, people have built careers on telling these groups exactly what to say and do in order to get some whine to sleep with you, so their problem with virtue signaling can't to be that it's wrong to say what you think will get you laid. Their problem appears to be that they view it as an ineffective fuckstrat, and of course, to bring the whole thing back on itself like a bulging veiny Ouroboros, whenever they re-tasked with formulating their own beliefs in detail, they invariably end up appealing to things like classical virtue. You know, those things put forward by someone at some point in history, interpreted by me. Look at this statue. Clearly this means the Greeks were afraid of homosexuality and thought it should be repressed. Pay no attention to actual historical fact. You only look at the facts because you want to look smart. You know, the Greeks, the famously straight people. And when they re-not accusing them of trying to get people to sleep with them, they re-accusing them of being gay. I would just like to take a moment to point out that we've reached a situation where to some people, being gay and wanting to have sex with women are interchangeable. This eradication of our terms meaning is part of a deeper problem with internet culture. It's the same with the word cuck. A few years ago, cuckoldry was a fetish where one spouse engages in sex with another person to emasculate their partner. Now the word is just another one-size-fits-all disparagement to use against people who you don't like. You can say what you like about Chanboards, but at the very least they are incredibly effective at rendering words meaningless. Instead of having to defend your point of view, which could be really difficult, you can just ignore them and dance around accusing them of trying to look like they re good people. It's a fantastic defense mechanism, except for the part where isn't a very good at all. Let's give the three main reasons why. Firstly, let's say the person you are arguing with really does think they making themselves look more virtuous for calling you out for saying something that sounds very racist. That doesn't invalidate their point, does it? This argument is about as stupid as your garden variety ad hominem argument. Oh, you criticize me behavior. Well, you read dumb, and you smell, and you just want to look good. Because it doesn't even need to be an inaccurate statement to be clearly bullshit. Let's say I really do smell quite a bit, and I really am dumb, and I do secretly think being nice to women on the internet will one day re-up dividends in the form of insert comical foreplay euphemism here. Does that make my argument wrong? It is an actual historical fact, no. This is actually quite hotly debated. Please do your own research. That Socrates smelt like shit and didn't take care of his kids either. He might have secretly thought he was super smart and liked looking smart by criticizing people, but that doesn't make him any less biting or correct when he tears apart someone's belief system in a story. You can be right and take regular showers, although I myself have trouble with that concept, but in a discussion, the ideas should be the focus, not the perceived self-righteousness, extant or otherwise, of the people you disagree with. Secondly, it seems reductive to believe you know a person's intent or secret deep inner feelings, because I don't even know me inner feelings on a lot of topics. I have to stay away from male Greek statues because they awaken things in me. So to pretend that I could deign to know your inner feelings is stupid. I like to take people at their word. Whining that people you don't like are just virtue signaling is essentially a method of protecting yourself from a real discussion. These people will often also decree things like safe spaces, not realizing that they do so from the safety of the one in their own head, where all opposing arguments have been scrubbed clean of content. Thirdly, once you invoke it, you grant that it's wrong to criticize things just to make yourself look good, But isn't that inherently what you redoing when you accuse someone else of doing it? You re-saying, quite straightforwardly, I am smarter and better than you because I don't virtue signal. That's what some people actually write. They literally write this. I care the least, so a more rational. I win. They wear I don't virtue signal like a badge, as if it signals what virtuous people they are. Heck, even the creator of the term is getting in on the action. Look at me. I invented virtue signaling. Shower me with praise, please, alt-right weirdos. Well, I might not be right, but at least I don't virtue signal. People who use this term often simply don't have any worthwhile criticisms to make of the arguments that face them, or are unable to express it meaningfully, so they pick a word from the list and throw it out there. Accusing someone of virtue signaling is simply lazy and often inaccurate. It actively flees in the face of the very concept of words having meaning. You can see the same thing taking place on the opposite side as well. The phrase problematic has become something of a joke itself because of its overuse, but these people tend to then turn around and explain why these things are, as it were, problematic. These people can be right or wrong in their assessments, of course, but at least they don't just yell, virtue signal, lol, and then run away. I'm still waiting to be rewarded with sex, though. I'm sure it all happen any day now. Is this it? Is me quiplashing finally getting me a shaft shellacking? Have the heavenly stew guardians finally opened the gates to the gaff of spaff? Oh wait, what's this? Something's wrong. No, it's you. Ones. The Waikakeo man I cried Alma to Ryode. Bad person. Look at you, White Knight. A pathetic creature of cock and beta panting and sweeting as you try to find someone to defend for sex. Look, I appreciate the reference, but System Shock 2 came out, what, 24 years ago. Can we, just talk in plain English? Okay, basically, it turns out to get laid, you have to actually be super abusive and manipulative towards people and treat them with zero respect. God, haven't you read 30 bangs? But isn't the real priority to treat people like reasonable humans and not do it for some kind of reward? No, because then your reward is feeling good about yourself for not wanting a reward. Is it ever possible to have a discussion of what is moral and good? No, it's actually all about sex, literally all the time. Oh, hang on. You not ones. You re? Well, Manosphere, I knew you were behind this. Oh, shut up, you little spangler. Can't you see you all become a stronger person once you've purchased me testosterone cream and self-helpy books and start using fantasy literature as a basis for your socioeconomic world views? I literally can't see anything at this point. This transcendent void is actually really hard on my eyes. No, don't look away. Pay attention to 'em. Pay attention to 'em. No. You guys arrow jesses. My eyes. Ah. I'd like to say a special thanks to Jason Walter, Jenny Anglo John, Kevin M. C. Made of Stone, Maxter Rob Brunt, Samuel Scott Girton, that Sky, and Two Armed Blues and Red Drapes. Oh, and also Casey Schneebel, whose name I pronounced wrong last time. Sorry. Oh, and while we re-add it, I spelt Beck Mackenzie, Ben Mackenzie. I am so sorry. Special thanks to Chris Morrow, who is voicing me right now.